Hello everyone, I'm Jim Roller, and today the beaches of Miami are going to be alive with the thunder of offshore powerboats. The American Powerboat Association has drawn all their major stars here for the Bacardi Trophy Race. The weather is beautiful for the spectators, but we've got a bit of a wind, and that's going to create some problems. It's going to mean high seas for this race, and those competitors are going to be out there running hard for some $50,000 in prize money. The world's best boat racers have come to Miami, Florida for the Bacardi Trophy Race. They've got a field of close to 60 boats on hand. All the heavy hitters are here. The Bacardi rum people are responsible for that. And with me right now is Jose Bacardi. You've got some event here.
Yes, we have a pretty good race, and we have close to 60 boats, which is, I think, is the largest number of boats this year for any race, and we're very proud to be part of this.
All the excitement of powerboat racing coming up next. Betty, you've been a dominant force in this sport 3 times now. How do you keep doing it?
Boy, it beats me how I do. Sometimes I wonder myself. It's a little terrifying, especially a race like this. I don't know, I'm always very apprehensive about my own ability when it comes to this. Fortunately, I have a good crew, and really, I guess that's the reason I've been able to do it. Complete faith in them, you know?
Everybody talks about teamwork in this sport, and how long did it take you to build up a good crew like this?
Well, oddly enough, John's been with me and Jim ever since I started racing, really. We've gone through a series of navigators, but I would say from day one we've worked together, and that's been important, that consistency, you know. Worked in, you know, getting in each other's back pocket, I guess you would say, you know, so that you almost react instead of thinking about doing something in the boat.
You're one of the few teams that doesn't use an intercom system either. It's really going by the seat of your pants.
Well, we do in the Cat. We use an intercom system. We don't in this simply because I cannot rely on what I hear. And the eye transmission in this boat with the engine so close behind you, to me is a lot more accurate. And when that thumb comes up and does that, I know that's a starboard. Get over to starboard, get over to starboard, you see. But if I hear that, I'm not sure that's what is being said. You only hear what you expect to hear. And so I don't like to depend on it in this boat. In the Cat, it's different. You have to, because the navigator's behind me.
You said you were apprehensive about this race, or about the conditions. Why?
It's rough out there. Big swells, you know, you fly it many times. You're up in the air for 20 feet off the water. You don't land for another 50 or 75 feet, and you know it's going to hurt when you land, physically hurt you. And you just hope that when you land keel first, so that one of those hard chines doesn't take over and think it's a keel, and then...
And away you go.
And that hurts, yeah.
How do you, the pounding that you take, what kind of physical training do you go through?
Well, I take an exercise class every morning that I'm home. Get up at 5:30, get over to class at 6, work out for an hour. And that's principally for stamina, because the fatigue, especially in a race like this, is enormous. And as soon as you begin to get tired, your concentration goes, your judgment goes, and therefore it's very important to try to keep going for that extra little bit, you know.
Someone told me you were a ballet dancer also. Is that...
I used to be many years ago, you know.
That help you?
Oh, I'm sure it did. Sure. Very definitely anything like that helps, because it gives you a sort of a body coordination, which is important. It's important for your confidence.
Coming into the Bacardi race here in Miami, the open class has been dominated for a while by Betty Cook. And I'm sure everybody's heard a lot about Betty Cook, and the Spirit of Panama boat is one that probably the folks it doesn't get a lot of press. And when you go into a race like this, how do you handle that force of Betty Cook and her domination of the sport?
Well, this is our second race in Offshore. We're running open class, like you said. It's very hard to accept the reality that a woman, a 58-year-old woman, is running. It's doing very well. I really have to look up to her. You know, she's something else. But competition is competition, and we'll do our best on it.
How are you going to beat her? What's it going to take to beat Betty Cook?
Well, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take, first, good engines, which I think we have with the help and rigging of Roger Munn. And it's going to take a lot of intelligent running. It's going to take a lot of luck. And hopefully we'll come up triumphantly.
Coming into the Bacardi Trophy race, it's your second race in Offshore. How's your team coming together?
Like I said, I'm a rookie. I have Roger Munn, the throttle Herb Bob as a navigator. Both of them has experience, 10, 15 years experience. They're very good. And the last race in New Orleans, we really worked very good. the three of us did a marvelous job.
So much preparation goes into these boats, and the crew is working very similar to a crew in auto racing. And the heavy seas are going to put even a lot more pressure on the preparation of the boat, aren't they?
Definitely. When you're racing on a car or a motorcycle, I mean, you're stable. You don't have the shakiness that you have, the pounding that you have in the seas. And there's where, you know, in the sea, in offshore racing, you really separate the good boats from the bad boats. That's it. That's just it.
This Bacardi race this weekend is, we spoke earlier about the pounding that you take in offshore racing, and I've heard a lot about the run to Bimini and how rough that's going to be. What kind of strategy do you use when you get into the rough water?
I don't know. You plan all the strategy you want, but once you get out there and start getting beat up, you know, you really don't care anymore. You just got to kind of hang in there and just hope. Just try to stay with the leaders or within a mile or so, and just hang on. And sometimes you watch them drop out and you go by them. Last year I was leading going into the first turn on this side, and faster boat caught us on this side, and he beat us by 3 minutes.
This race would almost compare to, in auto racing, something like a 6-hour endurance race, wouldn't it? The amount of abuse that the boats take and the length of the course.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours, 3.5 hours that we go through, and it's pretty cool. And you know, different sized boats, you maybe got a little bit of a different ride in them. Some run a little bit better than others, and you know, it's the man, it's the navigation, because we do have to go across a large body of water, and some of the roughest, especially when it's blowing like it is now. It's just a lot of things like that, a little bit of luck, and you can pull it off, hopefully.
One final question: if you could pull some strings with the weatherman, what kind of seas would you ask for?
I'd ask for definitely flat. I'm a sadist, but not that much. You know, there's a lot of guys that just want it rough, and I don't know, maybe they're out of their minds. I'd rather just come out of the race in one piece and have a good time.
Okay, well, best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
Unfortunately, I'm sure it's a lot shorter than you expected. What happened?
Well, we're running out there, and we decided to take it easy. And when we got going out there about 15 miles out, we passed Betty Cook like she wasn't even moving. And we're running great for another 5 miles, and the fuel pump just broke down. We had a look at it, and had a broken gear inside it, so we couldn't do anything.
It's about a tough luck for you. Better luck next time.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Terry, I'm sure it was shorter than you would have liked. What happened?
Quite a bit shorter. We had a minor problem with a distributor, but it was an ideal day for a race. Just rough enough to have some fun and not too rough to hurt anybody.
The surf isn't rough enough to pound the machinery. Not going to see a lot of attrition from that?
I don't think so. I think you could have more breakage from guys running too hard. It wasn't all that rough.
How was the competition? S-Class, they tell us, is the one that's the hot one to watch. Was it tight when you went out?
Yeah, sport class, they were all running straight abreast. They were very competitive. It would have been a tough race today.
Tough luck for you. Better luck next time.
Thank you.
Mike, tell me the crew's coming back early. What happened?
Well, the crew just came back, and we had a little engine trouble, you know, but I'm very impressed myself, you know, because this is a new company, and the design is a new design. It's a revolutionary thing, you know. It came out, the design is excellent, you know, as far as we're concerned, and our driver and our people are very happy. We unfortunately had a little trouble with the engines, you know. It happens. It happens in offshore racing all the time.
What made you choose the outboard power plants?
Well, Mercury, you know, has got a high technology. You know, they've got a lot of research going into these new engines. These are, you know, the fuel-injected engines.
So we gave it a shot. You know, at 270 horses, we thought we had a good run for it.
Better luck next time.
It's all right. We'll be there.
Gary, it's your second offshore race. What kind of feelings do you have going into it?
Well, we feel real good about it. It's, you know, new to us. It's a new boat this year and new everything, new crew. We're all basically inexperienced, just had a couple races under our belt. We're looking forward to the Bacardi race. It's going to be a nice bumpy race, you know, and it'll slow down the cats. That's mainly what we have to do is just slow down the cats. So, you know, those V-bottoms will do it, and we should get up there and do it.
What brought you into offshore? This is only your second race in this type of boat racing. What made you make the decision to take the plunge, as it were?
Well, basically, a couple of my good friends, Harold Grady and Bobby Rahilly, they're into racing, and they build racing engines, and they happen to be real good friends of mine, so we worked out a pretty good proposition to both of us when boats and engines and everything like that, and we decided to jump in it and try it 1 year, and if we like it, we'll keep going, and if we don't, well, all we lost was 1 year goofing off.
Offshore boat racing is different from other types of racing, and it's really the only type of racing that takes real teamwork between three people in the boat at once. Being a new crew, how's that teamwork falling together for you?
Well, it seems to be coming together pretty good. We've got an experienced navigator the first couple races, and then we're going to start out, like we said, with our rookies. And I've drove a couple races before, and the man that throttles it, Harold Grady, he hasn't drove it too much, done too much throttling. But basically, it's all falling together. Everybody does their job. You got a driver and the throttle man, and we all do our job and try to do the best we can. And that's all we can do. Being as it's our second race, and we finished our first race, we're real happy about that. I hope we do just as good in this race. Only we're looking for a checkered flag.
All right, well, best of luck to you, and hope to see you running up front.
Okay, we'll try hard. Thank you.
The Rinaldi family, probably the only family organization in offshore right now. And Pop, how'd you get the guys involved in all this? Is it just a natural progression following in Dad's footsteps?
No, not really. We were fishermen, and we sit on a beach down at New Jersey, Benihana, Point Pleasant, and we just like the exciting sport. We decided to give it a try, and here we are.
You're running in the P class, Group 4, and you seem to be have an upper hand on most of the folks in the field. They give you a lot of confidence coming into the Bacardi Trophy race?
Yeah, it sure does. We work real hard, and we put a good boat together. We got started real late last year, and we have our act together this year. We're out to win. We're good racers, and we work hard at it.
Teamwork is such an important part of this offshore operations and winning an offshore race. Does being a family help?
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know, it's good. We get along. We have our arguments, but we get along. We manage to do everything right.
Think you argue more than some of the other teams?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's healthy.
Now, you're running a quite interesting form of power here. You're running some Chevy power in this boat. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yes, we do. We run 363 NASCAR blocks, and I think my crew chief, Rich Barrett, can explain a lot of the motor end of it, and he's the one that puts the boat together for us to go.
Rich, long throw here with the mic, but how did you come about the decision to use the Chevy power on the boat?
Oh, Chevy power has been long over the years to be more dependable than the other motor out on the circuits. High revving, high horsepower, and very dependable.
These boats take such a pounding. How do you cope with the pounding in the ocean?
Just make sure before a race everything's tight, well going over, and it lasts pretty good. It takes a beating, but that's what it's for, though.
We've been trying to talk to everyone about the seas that they're going to be facing out there. You don't really know until you get there what kind of seas you're going to be facing. What kind of sea would you like to see?
I would like to see somewhere between 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I don't expect that tomorrow. We've been out there today, and we've seen 8 to 10, and we've been through 8 to 10 today. And more than likely, the same tomorrow, could be more. You know,
what does that do to you? Do you want 4, 5, and 6, but if you don't get it, how much is it going to slow you down?
It does slow you down considerable, and there's a big factor is up to your throttle man, who does handle the drives and the trim, and he's got to keep that boat right. You know, we steer the boat, we keep it on course. Peter does the navigation, but Junior has to keep that boat tucked in, and so we can ride them waves pretty good.
What do you see as your big competition this weekend?
I don't know how much competition we're going to have. There are some boats out there, but I'm not too worried about running boats out there, or anybody, or we're chasing anybody, or they're chasing us. I feel we can go out there and do a good job. I'm not too worried about competition. I'm worried about having a good, safe race. Hi, Bruce. How you doing?
Vince, you won it.
Yes, we did.
How was it out there for you?
It was rough out there. It wasn't as rough as we anticipated, but it was rough. Boat ran super great. We ran a good, clean race, and we were excited about it. We did a good job.
You said the outboards were going to win, yet you got an inboard and you won it. What about it?
Well, I always felt the outboards were better over inboards, and then this year we got our motors tuned right, and they just hum along.
You won the modified class. Was it rough out there? How rough was it? And is this your first win?
Yeah, this is our first win. It's only our second race. We finished in New Orleans. We're glad to win this one, and it was rough out there. I'm telling you, real rough.
Who gave you the biggest battle out there?
Well, on the way across, when we got within line of sight of Bimini over there, it looked like Sheer Terror had a little bit of a lead, probably a 2-minute lead on us, and Nightwing was right on him, and then we were third. As soon as we went around that boat, we were maybe a mile off on our navigation. When we went around there, we caught both of them in the middle. Then by then on, there was just no race. We had it.
Gary Jeffries, winner of modified class.
Thank you.
Dan, it was a great race. You won the sport class again. You've been flying with this inboard. What's going on with it?
Well, we built up a good lead. We got to see the shoreline on the way back, and we lost one engine. We had such a good lead. We finished the last 12 miles on one engine, and we still did 52 miles an hour.
52 miles an hour. Did you expect to do that today in this weather?
Not on one engine. What I'm trying to say is, well, my navigator led us right on course, and drivers steered us right on course. Everything fell into place.
Offshore, a true team effort then.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Jerry Jacoby, 1981 world champion. Miami, you come home #1 again.
Well, it was a different kind of race than we thought. Going over, it was supposed to be 6 to 8. On the extreme, it was only maybe 3 feet. And it was a dog race between Eddie Trotter and I all the way over and all the way back. And then when we hit the rough water at Lauderdale, it really got rough. We had maybe a minute lead on him, and then I knew we had it then because with a guy like Keith Hazel at the throttles in rough water, there's nobody in the world that can take us. And from there, it was just more or less running at 5,000 and just making sure the boat stayed together.
Quite a few boats had attrition problems. Any problems with you, or smooth all the way?
No, we had problems going over. We had a little fuel problem, and we had to switch to another tank, and we were hoping we had enough fuel because we couldn't use 100 gallons of fuel.
Bruce, just another fantastic day of racing.
Again, Jim, like you said, a great day of racing. The seas were rough right at the bat. You had 12-foot seas out in the Gulf Stream. They came down to 4 to 6 foot, but most of the catamarans dropped out of the race, so the deep V hulls still had the advantage. Jerry Jacoby, a rough water deep V Cigarette Hawk boat, comes out, pulls out the win. Him and Keith Hazel, their first win together as the Bacardi Trophy champions. And all the other 3 champions were in deep V hulls, so it was a great day for the deep Vs, a great day for racing, and a great day for Bacardi.
Well, let's take a look at those final standings one more time.